Welcome back to yet another episode of my trading vlog, where most of the views, nearly all the views, come from returning subscribers at this point. Thank you very much. If that's you, give yourselves a thumbs up. Remember, analyze, make a plan, follow the plan, no fear, no doubt. Let's start looking at AMC first. We'll just make the rounds like I usually do. We didn't quite hit that 650 target. Talked about that a lot. We've had a break of this uptrend. We moved down towards this $5 492 target. Now the price is just moving sideways, and this is probably a bearish thing. Typically, in a motive wave heading lower, you're going to see 5 different waves. 1, 3, and 5 are motive, and 2 and 4 are corrective. There's typically a principle of alternation between waves 2 and 4. I have waves 1 and 2 shown here in yellow, and then these two levels are here for the wave 3 target, which we reached. And now we're in wave 4, which is a counter trend. You're going to see that the price has stopped going down, drawing an external trend line from the top of wave 2 to the bottom of wave 3. You can see easily that that downtrend has broken. And so we're well into wave 4 at this point. Now the alternation I'm looking for between waves 2 and 4 is that of form. Wave 2 being a sharp. You can see how there's a sharp V here where wave 1 ended and wave 2 turned up. And so now I'm looking for a flat at wave 4, not necessarily a flat in pattern analysis per se, but relatively sideways correction in nature. So here's wave 4 moving sideways. Downtrend's broken, but doesn't make that same V. Rather, we get this nice kind of flag looking thing going here, and maybe we have a ways to go in some sort of pattern like this before we see more downside. It could happen in any number of ways. Those are just example lines. Don't hold me to that as a forecast, but this is what I see AMC doing in the near future. Going over to Ape, been waiting for a dump in Ape for a long time. I said don't get too excited that we're above this downtrend, and sure enough, not much is going on here. It's just kind of flat, floating alongside aimlessly with AMC. Let's go check out GameStop. We had some resistance at 22.70, and now the price has rebounded higher. As soon as the price passed the peak before it turned down above 22.70, this is a bullish confirmation level, and the price is now soared above there and on solid volume. Is there some news here I need to be aware of? Let's see here. The price of GameStop's rewards program will reportedly increase to 25 from 15. Okay, so they're raising some prices. The stock jumps amid reports of revamped customer rewards program. Interesting. Again, I don't think that what the news is actually reporting is necessarily the trigger. It's the amount of attention to the stock. So today, a lot of people saw GameStop and said, hey, that means more people are going to be buying GameStop too. And so, well, GameStop gets bought, right? So again, same principle of, you know what, this is kind of sloppy. Let's get rid of this fib tool. I don't like that. Doesn't look good. I don't need that one either. Let's talk about motive waves again, because remember, we're going to have a flat and a sharp correction. I think this may have been motive wave 1, and then we had correction for 2. And now we're starting wave 3, which is extending. So 1 of 2. Or I should say 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. This could be 4 of 3. And the reason why I bring that up now is because this sharp correction and this sharp correction probably are not part of the same motive wave. So this sharp correction is probably related to the wave 3. So I'm going to draw a channel here. This is basically where wave 1 occurs, is in this channel. Let me just... That's probably wave 1. And then wave 2 breaks that channel and comes down. And typically we get some sort of like broadening pattern or triangle. And you can see that between those two blue lines through there, right? So wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3 starts, and it's its own wave. All right, it's gonna have its own motive wave. So here's wave 1, the impulse of that, and then 2 comes down, and this is all wave 3 of that third wave extension. And now we have another sharp correction heading lower. So let's see. Wave 2 was pretty flat. There was a little overthrow, a little dip there. And now wave 4 is sharp. And so this would be wave 5 of that motive wave, of that third wave. And you can see that we're experiencing just a little bit of bearish divergence of the RSI, where those peaks in the price are trending against those peaks in the RSI. And I'm willing to call this a divergence because we didn't quite reach oversold. I mean, technically, we probably want to say, hey, wipe the board, forget about it. But I'm going to go ahead and just say that's there. I want to turn on candles, actually. I want to see where that volume came in. It's important to read into the volume. Looks like a surge of volume pushed the price higher and then marked the top, too, right here at 12 p.m. So we're going to go into the intraday chart, the 1-minute chart, and have a look at that and try to get an idea of what's going on. Big volume spike here. I need to pull this up. And this yellow line, this is the 30-period average, and it looks like it was the highest in the middle of the day right here. Was that 9:14? But it was that hour of 11 to noon through here where we saw the highest volume? Interesting. I'm going to need to look into that a little bit more. Nonetheless, this does look like a topping pattern to me. I think I see something of a rising diagonal here on the smaller time frame. Now, there are a couple of possibilities here. This could be the end of wave 5, or if we do get an extension, then it's going to be amazing. If we extend from this point, let's see, the near-term price target's 25.57. You're going to see that I have a price resistance there. So, hey, when I have a projection like that line up with a significant level of support and resistance, I say that's something to be mindful of. You'll know if we're going to get there. This thing will just pop and fly up there really quick if it's going to do that. Again, I don't know. It's kind of hard on the 1-minute chart. But this is looking feisty, Gonna take a look at the daily candle as well. Massive green day. Look at this big green bar. Holy cow. Let me go back over there. Just beep, beep. Yeah, that's impressive. The 30-period, look at this. Massive volume surge. The RSI is coming above the last high, which is good. That means there's no bearish divergence there. You know, I'm going to be looking for a new motive. This is great. I love this. This is looking really bullish. I love it. Are we finally going to get up here to 31? That'd be great. Yes. Happy for Mitchell. Happy for Mitchell. I want to see this thing fly, dude. I want to see it fly. All right, so that's AMC, Ape, and GameStop. Of course, I'm always like bearish on AMC and more bullish on GameStop, and that's just the way the charts read to me, and it consistently appears that way, and that forecasting has been on point. Let's go look at Playboy, because I was pretty happy with Playboy today as well. Keeping the candle chart turned on. We have a bullish engulfing candle today. We'll see if we can't get a confirming close. There is something important though. Today's close does confirm this big long green day. So there's going to be a candlestick pattern analysis to be had here. We could also call this like a narrow range 4, I think. I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit more. I don't do candlestick chart patterns very much, but this bounce off of this quadruple bullish divergence is coming in nicely. Still targeting 185, 176, essentially just to test this downtrend. If we can get above 185, then we'll talk about these other targets, which I abandoned, but I'm gonna leave them on the board because honestly, this is gonna start looking like a double bottom through here. Also, I was on my phone today just looking at it, and I was like, there's kind of like a falling wedge through here. It's not very pronounced, but it's definitely there. We have touch points 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't count these as both touch points. You need to cross the pattern to continue that counting. And to me, this easily looks like a three-way form between those converging trend lines, which to me means that, hey, we're probably looking at the end of this trend, and the downtrend, and we're going to see a pop higher. 1, 2, 3. This kind of looks motive heading up. But this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's just like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So pretty happy with Playboy currently. Also, something I'm pretty happy with is the dollar, which is starting to bounce. I forecasted a long time ago that it was gonna bounce, and we came back down like super low to this prior low at near 100 down here. I said nope, we're still above it. It's gonna take a long time. Could be months. Sure enough, here we are. We're finally seeing the dollar pull up, and it doesn't look like it's corrective at this point. And I say that because of the RSI. This looks like a kickoff signal to me, where we're gonna have a lot of these overbought conditions as these motive waves start to play out heading higher. So the dollar's looking really good. Of course, this bodes bearishly for metals like gold and silver, so the corresponding equities GLD and SLV are down. I've been forecasting this downtrend. I've been saying that these precious metals, these equities, are going to start coming down off of their highs as the dollar begins to bounce, and we're finally starting to see that happen. It just takes a long time sometimes. It might be a broadening top through here. It takes a long time. So when it does happen, I love it. I would love to get some credit too. We see that in SLV we broke this sideways trading range, so whoop, dip time. All right, that's a good signal to buy probably. Let's look at QQQ. I did some analysis on QQQ a while ago, and I was like, I thought we might be topping out here at like 320, but we broke that high, so then I put 331, 338 on the board. Boom, price target met. So price targets being met all over the board. Again, when I doodle like this, you guys, this is just like examples of what price action could do. It's not a forecast. Don't hold me to it. But yes, we've had this big breakout, and we're moving towards these levels. So while I was initially bearish here, I did acknowledge if we set a new high, we'd be bullish and put those targets down. And those targets have been reached. So it's a good day. It's a good day. Price targets met and stuff. Everyone doesn't care. I know. whatever. Let's go to SPY. Looks like we're breaking out higher from this weird consolidation we had through here, which I have shown in several different blue lines. Don't get too confused. I said I wouldn't be surprised to see the price rise and sort of narrowing, rising diagonal up to that 435 target. Looks like we're on the way. So buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Tesla had a massive green day today as well, I noticed. And yeah, big. That's a strong green. That's a strong green. And this rally could be extended too. Now that all of this is happening before the debt ceiling talks is ridiculous. I think that scares me. Like, you never know when stuff's gonna go south. You might say, well, that's crazy. No one actually wants to see the U.S. default. And I'm like, yeah. Well, we've seen crazier things in the years past. So watch out. I hope it all goes well and we get underway. Debt ceiling news comes in good. We see this big pop and rally, and then the markets turn around and flop. Because I'm still bearish long term on the markets. I really am. Apple moving really high. Wow, this thing is really cruising forward, bruising at this point. You know, if you ask me, it looks like we're getting some sort of overthrow, and we'll just see this thing poop later. But for the time being, it looks pretty bullish, to be honest. It looks like I was saying we might see that happen. We still haven't seen the RSI move push up here into overbought again, so that's actually kind of bearish. Volume's petering out here on the uptrend, also kind of bearish. So yeah. Overall, I'm still like, yeah, things are rallying in the euphoric advances, but I don't think that they're sustainable. I think they're corrective in nature and they're not motive. Again, remember, price analysis is relative. Might be bullish on the 1 minute, bearish on the hourly, bullish on the 4 hour, but bearish on the daily, and then bullish on the weekly. Like, it just depends where you're at, because in all times, the price is moving through both regression and progression, and whether you're bearish or bullish is a mindset, and it's a matter of time frame. So remember that. Typically I'm bearish. I'm like long-term bearish. Right now we're going up, and that's great. And I've always acknowledged that could happen, and here it is. Anyway, that's all I got for today. It's getting long. Happy trading.